Hey Gearfax friends, this video is in response to Roger Williams, who messaged me with a really good question about the Zoom G1on, or in this case I've got two B series pedals which are basically exactly the same thing. And his question applies to all series like this, and it was related to how exactly does the expression pedal interface with the brain unit. As you can see, the two actual processing parts of it are identical. So what actual mechanism connects this to this, and could, in theory, an expression pedal be added on to one of these standalone units? Well, first of all, let's flip them over and have a look behind. I guess it's not really surprising that the larger series, which incorporates the expression pedal, is going to be a bit better constructed because it literally needs twice the screws to hold everything in place. So there's the four basic ones, exactly the same again as what's on this, and then four more to hold the expression pedal in position. And what that adds up to basically is that this is generally a better constructed unit. And I'm not criticizing the quality of Zoom's latest generation of guitar pedals. I mean, they are all plastic, but it's good quality stuff generally. Clearly not pro gear, it's not built for the road, but it's fun gear. It's something that we can all enjoy spending a few hours with. Anyway, I'm getting off the point there. Let's open these up. Always got to have a little dish for the screws. Of course, this often happens when you open audio gear up, all the screws are out, and yet somehow you can't seem to get the back panel off. Well, I'll say it again, the build quality is good because that is solid as a rock even though all the screws are out. My only guess is that there might be more screws under some of these pads. Okay, so that's the secret. No, there are no screws under the pads. You just need something with a nice broad blade, like a butter knife, just to cleave it out and pull it towards the front of the system. Well, Roger, the news is not great. This system has been around for quite some time. I've seen this in pedals over 20 years old that I've opened up before in the past. 4 wires, 1 red, 3 grey, and they're all fused together. Sorry, the light's not great, but hopefully that's close enough for you to see. So if you want to connect any kind of standard external expression pedal, then you could probably look forward to a whole afternoon worth of stripping back cables and trying out different combinations of wires joined together to see which one actually works. And I have to say, I did a project similar to that with an old Zoom 3030 and I had no success at all. I simply couldn't get the external expression pedal circuitry to talk to this kind of circuitry. The best I got out of it was an effect on-off switch. Having said that though, if you look down this length here, it's literally all just plastic except for the actual wire crossing it. So there is no reason why you couldn't extend that wire and cut this off and make it an external expression pedal, or take out this little circuit board here and adapt it to a bigger external expression pedal that you might find more comfortable. Personally, I'd take the first option because the idea of refitting that into something else, again, sounds like a whole lot of work. Moving in closer still, you'll see it's just a little plug that connects the wires to the small PCB there. So that's easy enough to remove. I think the real challenge will be actually cutting these wires so that this whole component here can be separate to this whole component here. It's not a massively difficult job and perfectly feasible as long as you keep track of which wire connects to which when you're putting the extra wires in to give it a bit more length. Looking over at the main printed circuit board here, you'll see the 4 pins right there. That's clearly where these cables are being connected to the main board. I would reckon that on the single unit or non-expression pedal unit, you would find those exact same points, but they would be empty. So we'll open up the non-expression pedal unit now and see if that prediction is correct. It was much easier to remove that backplate this time. And sure enough, if we zoom in here, there are our 4 points. They appear to be filled in there. There might be just a little cover or something like that on the other side. Only one way to find out. Let's take out the circuit board. Again, it's very tightly engineered, so it's quite hard to get this PCB out. I think I'm just going to have to bend this little part back slightly. That's a battery contact there. Easily put back into position. Okay, what have we got? Okay, I think we have good news. If we zoom right in here, you'll see there's our 4 points, and they're quite available to have wires soldered into them. And while we're here, we might just take a moment to appreciate how beautifully engineered this thing is. And just one final thing, all the screws are exactly the same, internal and external. And this is greatly appreciated by anyone who wants to do the kind of thing I've just done, because you don't have to keep track of sizes and shapes and materials that screws are made of. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Roger, and I hope that was interesting for all you other guys. Great thing to experiment with, considering that the price of these things seems to be just dropping all the time. So you could launch a really interesting project for very little money. And who knows, maybe you can connect an external controller. Remember, there are all different kinds of controllers as well. It's not just pedals, there are dials. I've seen expression controllers that are operated using human breath. Also operating using light. There's a whole range of things to choose from to provide expression down this line here. So if you have the inclination, then I say, yeah, get into it and experiment. I've put up some links to some other things that might interest you guys. Thanks again for liking, commenting, or subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Gear Facts.